if you need a hero, just look in the mirror. No one's gonna save you now, so you better save yourself.
Hello, beautiful people. Thanks for stopping by my place where we hang out and have conversations about people in the entertainment industry. Now let's get ready for some sugar talk. Welcome to my first segment of Sugar Talk. Today we're going to have a conversation about Trisha on Love and Marriage Huntsville. In the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, I think Trisha was hating on Melody, and this is the reason why.
You know how many couples separate while they're married and move on to other relationships before they actually get divorced? I think that's probably a good bit of couples in this.
Because Melanie did it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Trisha, girl. Now why do you got Melody name in your mouth? You know you need a virtual ass whooping for that one. Out of all the names you could come up with, you mentioned Melody. Talking about what Melody did. How do you know what Melody do? You don't even fucking know her. But you do know her ex-husband. Now let's talk about that. Trisha, I need you to hop your ass on this virtual couch because I have some questions. Let's get to the facts. Melody don't know you, but invited you and your raggedy ass wig to a paid girls trip on a beautiful island of St. Thomas. Prior to the girls' trip invite, the audience learned that Martell was in your DMs. You stated that Martell wanted you to be a personal trainer. Well, I don't know how you expect the audience to believe that explanation when Martell has always shown to be physically fit and a gym rat. You also stated that you wanted to have a one-on-one with Melody to inform her about you and Martell. Well, I call cap, because if your intentions were sincere, you would have had a side conversation with Melody at the invite and informed her. Why did you lie about the truth and take a dig at a woman who has done nothing but be kind to you? Do you remember lying? Well, let's play an audio so I don't take your words out of context.
Place with the whole you and one of our ex in the whole DM situation.
So you talking about Martell. He said he wanted to work out. Of course it's Martell being...
He DM'd you and said he wanted to work out.
He did. He said he wanted to work out. So let's work out. At that time, I was training male and female. Martell said, okay, let's meet up at his house. Let's work out. Mm-hmm. We was gonna meet up, go work out.
I wanna say this. When we were at the gym, me, you, and Destiny, I told you what he said.
Yeah.
You adamantly said it's not true.
Yeah.
So are you saying now it is true?
Well, yeah. I left it out for a reason.
So you just lied in order to protect what it could have seemed like?
Pretty much.
Child, I suggest you concentrate on your throuple with your husband and your boyfriend and keep Melody's name out of your mentions. Direct that energy towards Martell, who at first act like he didn't even know your ass. Then he admitted that you and him was not working out. And the he is he had the audacity to say that your profile looked like Janet Jackson, and when you arrived at his house, you looked more like Freddie Jackson. Trisha, we're not buying what you're selling. We're not picking up what you're putting down. We do not care. Trish, we do not care. Okay, beautiful people, it's time to head downstairs to the Sugar Shack, where we talk about people that put us in a group chat. Let's go. Today we're going to be talking about a content creator by the name of Isis. Less than a week ago, she put out a video called I Married a Monster. It was so disturbing to me that I think that we need to have a conversation about it. Let me start off by saying I stand against abuse in all of its forms. I'm not going to bash this lady, but I do have some concerns with her decision making based on her ideology. As a woman, my heart truly goes out to you, Isis. I pray that you and your children get the help that you need. I pray that you're taking therapy. I pray that the universe send you loving people to help you and your children through this healing. I don't wish what happened to you on any woman. So for that, I sympathize. Before Isis put us into the group chat, I didn't know anything about this content creator. It was recommended to me, and I automatically hit the video because it said, I married a monster. I'm like, you married a monster? So of course I wanted to hear the story. So I'm just going to play a snippet, but it's heavy, y'all. It's real heavy. It's a lot, and I want to say it might be a trigger warning, but I'm going to play the video, and I'll be right back.
I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him. And I just started to see a few things that I didn't like. But I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past. It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh God. Gosh. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy.
I was feeling so many emotions after watching this video. Then I became curious. I needed more context. I thought to myself, her channel is only a search away. So I immediately hopped in the search, clicked on her YouTube page, and what I found on her YouTube page, I was completely astounded at what I saw. I clicked on the second video she uploaded to her channel titled Single Mom to Housewife in Less Than a Year. The video is about how Isis met and married her husband. It gives a little bit more background information on Isis' state of mind. Isis gives the audience a summary of her life prior to meeting her husband. And this is what has been presented to the group chat. Isis got pregnant on purpose at the age of 17 by her then boyfriend. A couple of years later, she had another child with a total of 2 boys. She is 24 years old at the time this story took place. She teaches an ideology called hypergamy. She met her husband on eHarmony. Her husband is 20 years her senior. On their first date, he asked her to be his girlfriend. After moving out of Ice's then boyfriend house, excuse me, she asked her now husband, can she stay with him? He told her if she wanted to live with him, she has to be his wife. Only his wife can live with him. She brought him a ring and FaceTimed him, then asked was he serious about getting married. He said yes, and they had 1 week until the wedding. Then he brought her a wedding ring. They got married at the courthouse and had the reception at the steakhouse. Now is that trophy material? Wait, before you answer, listen to Isis explain this in her own words.
Quickly, that everything that glitters is not gold. I happened to come across Shira7 on YouTube, and she completely changed my life. And she basically taught me what a high value man is and what to look for when trying to find a husband. So I ended up taking my sister's advice and signing up for eHarmony. Yeah, she recommended Match, but in my spirit, I felt eHarmony. I don't know why. It's just something told me to do that one. So I ended up signing up for eHarmony. I created a profile, and I think the second person that I matched with was the man that I'm married to now, my husband, my wonderful husband. And it was very different. My husband and I have a 20-year age gap, and he was not the first older man that I dated. I actually dated someone like 10 years older than me, and that was just a bust. A lot of people have told me that I'm very mature for my age, so someone 10 years older than me just wasn't a big enough age gap for me to vibe with. It just wasn't, yeah. So when I met my husband, I knew right away almost, and people say that, but it was definitely true. I know it sounds cliche. Just from our first date, it just felt natural. I felt like I just had known this person already. It was so comfortable. So we went to a really nice seafood restaurant, and it was great. It was an amazing first date, and mind you, I think we both were kind of just dating different people at the time, and that's definitely something that I recommend if you're looking to, find a husband, is not just dating one person at a time. It's not good to put all your eggs in one basket, but we had a great first date, and I think he ended up asking me to be his girlfriend on the first date, and I said I would think about it. I know that the universe guru talks about how you shouldn't fall into the girlfriend trap, and it was kind of something that I just intuitively knew, like, I'm not just gonna agree to be your girlfriend just after meeting you, because I know that you just want me to be your girlfriend so that you can get in my pants. So I didn't agree, and we both were, we were talking, but then for some reason we kind of stopped talking for a little while, and we both were dating other people and doing our own thing, and then I had gotten into a serious relationship with somebody, and I ended up falling for the girlfriend trap, but that guy had really been investing a lot into me and doing a lot for me, so I kind of felt like I had to agree to be his girlfriend, because he asked me multiple times, and I finally agreed. So after me and him broke up, well, let me rewind. So me and him ended up breaking up because he just didn't really vibe with my oldest son, who was 5 at the time. I could tell that he was really just putting up with my kids. He didn't really embrace them. Um, Sometimes, we as mothers can tell like someone's just being nice to our kids for the purpose of being with you, and they're not necessarily invested in your kids themselves. And that's what I felt like from him. So it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a family, the kind of family that I was wanting. So I ended up breaking up with him, and we were living together. I know. We were living together, and I just like packed all my stuff and left. And it was crazy because the next day, my husband, my now husband, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I told him, I just got out of a relationship, and I kind of told him a little bit about why. And he was telling me like, "Oh, those are my boys," and he had genuinely really connected with my kids, and he was not the kind of man that was just being nice to them to get to me. Like, it was very genuine, and that was one of the things that I really loved about him. That was something that stood out about him versus the other men that I had dated, was he really embraced the fact that I had children because he wanted children. And so, he was talking, my lease was going to be ending very soon, which is why I went ahead and moved in with my person that had became my ex. We started living together, and I told my husband, I was like, "Hey," it was so embarrassing to admit, but I was like, "I need a place to stay because my lease is ending, and I just broke up with my boyfriend, and maybe even if it's just like for a couple weeks, it's okay. Just while I look for, somewhere else, because I hadn't planned on needing to find somewhere else." And he was saying, "Well, if you're going to live with me, it's going to be as my wife, not as my girlfriend." And I was like, "Well, how spontaneous are you?" And he laughed and he said, "Very spontaneous." So then I was like, right. So we started entertaining the idea of getting married, like, immediately. And I, didn't want to get my hopes up. So I just said that, he's saying all these things, but I'm going to see what action that he takes. And so I had just got paid, and I was like, okay, it seems like we're really talking about seriously entertaining the idea of getting married. So I'm going to go and get the wedding ring. We were talking about getting married like the next week, and he was out of town in Colorado, so we hadn't seen each other. This is all talk over the phone, over FaceTime. So I went and got his ring. I think I paid like $300 for it. It wasn't like a super flashy ring like the one he has now, which is completely a lot better. But I went and got his ring, and the next time we talked on FaceTime, I was like, "I did something." And he was like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I got your wedding ring." So he was like, "No, you didn't. Show me." So I showed him. I said, "Yeah, I actually did it. I don't know if you were really being serious, but, we're talking about getting married." So I had a really bad habit of like spending money. And I was like, if I don't get the ring now, then I'm not going to get it. So I went ahead and got it. And that put the fire under him to, I guess, really go and look for my ring. Well, let me rewind. So then after that, I think it was like the next day, something told me to go online and check my eHarmony profile. So I went on there and I saw that he had updated his picture, and I was like, "Oh no, this dude is playing around. Like, I'm glad I didn't spend a whole bunch of money on this ring." Like, he was just playing. And I screenshotted it and sent him a picture, and I said, "It doesn't seem like we're on the same page, so yeah, I'm done with this." and he texted me. He was like, or I think he tried to call me and I didn't answer. And he texted me and he was like, no, I'm serious. I am going to marry you, in caps. And I think that evening he like ended up going and buying my ring. Yeah, he went and bought my ring. And the ring that he got me is not the ring I had now. It was a nice ring, but it wasn't nearly as big as the rock that I'm currently sporting. But when he showed it to me, in my head, I said, it's not about the ring, it's about the marriage. And I definitely think that that's something that you ladies should keep in mind, is that if a man is going to propose to you, don't make it about the ring, because that can really turn a man off and make him think that that's all that you care about, is having a big ring, when it's more important to have the marriage. And I knew that in my heart. I was like, all right, I'm not going to say anything about the size of the ring. You know, it's still a nice ring. I'm going to take it and we're going to get married. So we ended up getting married the next week. Everybody was shocked. I randomly called my mom, my grandmother, hey, I'm getting married in a few days. We got married at the courthouse, because I told him I don't need a big wedding. I'd, rather spend that money elsewhere. And we had a really beautiful wedding reception in DC, at a really nice restaurant. It was gorgeous. So yeah, that is how I ended up getting married. But I think that also something that I want to let you guys know is that becoming his wife and really being the kind of woman that could just get a ring like that, took work. At that time, I had really become a better version of myself, a better version than the woman that was dating thugs and, living in some kind of secular lifestyle. I had to become the kind of woman that a man would want to take around his colleagues and his mother, and be the woman that's adding value to him just by standing next to him. But yeah, I know it's kind of a interesting story, but I also helped two of my sisters to get married. They both got married in less than a year as well. So I'm really good at knowing how to get women the ring and to get the kind of men that you would be proud of. So if you ladies are interested in learning more about how to become a trophy wife, then please click subscribe. I would love to have you here. Stay tuned. We are going to be giving all the tips, all of the information that you need.
Isis, the trophy wife, has built her whole brand on hypergamy ideology. She has created ebooks, podcasts, YouTube channel. She also has a Trophy Wife coaching program and a Trophy Wives Club on Facebook. I'm concerned with this lady's mental health. Her discernment and decision making is irresponsible at best. The key to navigating life is in how you move. You wasn't moving right, sis. You wasn't moving right with your children. You wasn't moving right with your vetting or love life. You wasn't moving right with your finances, and etc. Danger is real, my love, but you failed to yield the red flags. But then on the other hand, you're teaching hypergamous dating, trying to get a bag. Chatter alert, chatter alert. Child, while I was editing this video, the trophy wife husband, alleged niece, has entered in the group chat, y'all. She did a 5-part video on TikTok debunking the trophy's wife story and accused her son of being the one who harmed her daughters. Stay tuned.
My name is Dee, and I am the niece of the trophy wife's husband. Now, I know you know who the trophy wife is because she's been going up and down my timeline for the last couple of days. Her name is Isis, or Paloma, which is her real name. This lady is completely insane. Let's just start from there. Background story. Her and my uncle got together really quick. From what I've been seeing and what I've been told, she thought that she was getting a come up with my uncle. But then when things didn't go her way and she pretty much seen that she could no longer hide the things that she was doing behind closed doors, she ended up trying to find a different route, which was to come on here and lie to you all and tell you that her daughter had been touched by her dad, which that is not the case. Her daughter had been touched by her son, and she didn't want anybody to know because she wanted to try to make it seem like my uncle was the bad guy because she wasn't getting what she wanted in the divorce.
Hi, everyone. I couldn't get on here fast enough. I couldn't get on here fast enough when I heard people are trying to blame my son. I couldn't get on here fast enough. Couldn't get on here fast enough. I thought I heard someone who I've never met in my life coming on here trying to blame my son. Someone whom I've never met in my life trying to come on here and blame my son for the sick and disgusting things that my daughter's father was doing. This is not a game. This is not a game. How dare you? How dare you blame this on an innocent child? You talk about you got proof? You have proof? I've got proof right here. Right here. Show me your paperwork. Show me your paperwork. You talk about I am saying something different than when I was in court. Honey, you weren't even there. I've never seen you in my life. It's not very good. Oh my gosh. Y'all want to see my protective order? Y'all want to see my protective order right here? I'm going to cover my daughter's name. I'm going to cover my daughter's name. In the case of a vulnerable adult and a minor child, a relative, there is a preponderance of the evidence to believe that the respondent committed the following acts of abuse. Statutory abuse of a child. R word or a statutory S offense. Father has been coming into two-year-old and 4-year-old daughters' rooms and SAing them. This is from the judge. There's the case number. It matches the records. There's the proof. There's the proof. There's the proof. I'm done. That's all. I'm done.
Whew, that was a lot. That really was a lot. You know, I'm going to close this video by saying, I don't agree with bringing your trauma to the internet. It can have a damning effect on your morals and mental intellect. I object to the social engineering tech that has been designed to help us self-destruct and blow up our set. But y'all are not ready to hear that yet. So I digress. Remember, the internet is the house, and the house always wins. I want to give thanks to all you beautiful people for hanging out at my place. As the saying goes, you don't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell on out of here.